What's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Jones and I'm back with another video. Today I'm talking my weekly sneaker rotation, so stay tuned.
Got a lot of things changing in my life. Hoping one day I'ma get it all right. Brother is engaged, about to start a new life. Yeah, I haven't had a chill day. Really wanna vibe, appreciate the moments. I've been creating, not scrolling. Mom and dad still support.
Alright, man, I'm back with another video. Now, before I get too deep into this video, y'all already know what to do. Go and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you're new, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Alright, so let's dive into today's video. Just like I said in the intro, man, we're back another weekly sneaker rotation. This should be week 148 to the best of my knowledge. And if I'm wrong, feel free to correct the kid down in the comment section. Now, y'all already know I started this series off at the beginning of 2023, and here we are. We're pretty much in week 148. Now, if you want to get a sneak peek of what I'm wearing throughout the week, sign up for that sold out Discord. The link should be pinned at the top of the comment section, and it is free to sign up. Well, of course, we continue the sneaker talk, but we got a food section, a sports section, you name it. Pretty much, if I don't get the content out in time, it should be in the sold out Discord posted by somebody, even if it's not just me, right? Okay. Pretty much, if I didn't say it at the beginning, smash that like button and sub up. Y'all already know I end things off on a Friday, then pick right back up on Saturday. So pretty much this Saturday, the kid had to go to the chop shop. Probably by the time that I'm shooting this video, probably overdue to go again. But Saturday brought out none other than the Air Jordan 1 shattered backboards, right? Okay. Now, this is a shoe where we have seen release again, I want to say this year, and it didn't do so well. Don't mean it's not going to go up over time like these did, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the 2015 pair. I did have to pay a little extra for my guys right here, but Jordan 1s have been known to hold up for quite some time, and I'll double check the production date for you guys, but yeah, 2015, just like I suspected. I feel like this is a perfect shoe to wear during the fall/winter time, pretty much because we got the Halloween pretty much right around the corner, but also think about Thanksgiving. This is another shoe you can probably get away with, because when I think of Thanksgiving, I don't know why I think of orange and I think of pumpkins, right? Okay, which you can arguably say you can think about that when it comes to a little bit of Halloween. So pretty much is the perfect time to wear this shoe. Pretty much this was my Saturday shoe, was the Air Jordan 1 shattered backboard, and we already know the stories behind that joint. Pretty much where you shattered the backboard, and it's kind of like the jersey colorway that he pretty much had wore, right? Okay, and inside of there, I don't know if the camera's gonna do that any justice, but you'll see like that shattered glass inside of that joint right there. Don't know if we're getting any focus on it, but yeah, this was my Saturday shoe, was an Air Jordan 1 shattered backboard. Cool. Now I'm gonna move right along to Sunday. Now y'all know Sundays, man, I do my very, very best to try to relax, recoup, and just restart and just prep throughout the week. So pretty much that's your hint right there. Stepped in none other than the Yeezy slides. I think all I did was literally just went and go get something to eat. And yeah, Sunday was an eventful day, even though I wasn't even out that long. This is the pure colorway. I bought these back in 2021. Right before he started, you know, the following year of where pretty much you can get whatever Yeezy you want in 2022 after a certain amount of time. And I'll just leave it right there. My joints, you can tell I pretty much beat the smithereens, but I'm still gonna get my money's worth because I did pay resale. I didn't get cracked over the head, but I definitely got, you know, I felt that little sting on the price. But anyway, I'm not gonna complain about it. This was my Sunday shoe, and I have seen the newer ones they have dropped on his website, and I'm hearing the quality is nowhere near compared to the Adidas version, right? Okay, so this was my Sunday shoe, was a Yeezy Slide Pure. Cool, now we're gonna move right on to Monday. You know the kid worked a full-time job, right back into work. Pretty much you guys should probably already recognize the theme, or you will hear shortly. And I stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 1 Shadows, right? I almost called it the shattered backboards. In fact, I actually probably did. What I mean is the shadows. Now these joints, I remember I bought these joints produced back in 2017. I almost didn't want to buy these joints, but then it's like black and gray, can you really go wrong with it? It's a shoe that you can see the Air Jordan 1s, they age very, very well. Even the ones that have that glittery effect on it. Honestly, you get them joints a quick wipe down and you're still good to go. I think arguably, I cannot say it's like my favorite shoe, but it is my most silhouette in my collection. Hence why I told you guys I could probably do this back to back, no problem. But this was my Monday shoe, was an Air Jordan 1 Shadows, man. And I think Dunks, man, he would probably like this shoe if he had this in his collection. Even the lows I seen are actually not that bad, but I had the highs and I feel like why not? So this was my Monday shoe, Air Jordan 1 Shadow. Cool, now we're gonna move right on to Tuesday, right back at work. You know the kid work a full-time job. Speaking of Dunks, this shoe we actually went live for and we both all called W's on it, but I think Dunks end up not actually liking this pair. I personally still like my pair, and I'm talking none other than the Air Jordan 1 Taxis, right, okay? Mainly because I'm a sucker for the color yellow, right? I feel like, why not? I feel like it's a color that stands out, and to be honest, I don't know why, but it gives me like Wu-Tang Clan vibes, but I know it's not an official Wu-Tang collab or what have you, but I feel like it's black and yellow. Can you really go wrong with it? Also made me just think of Wiz Khalifa right now. I don't know if y'all remember that song back in the day, black and yellow, and I'm probably telling my age right there, but overall though, I feel still like this is a nice shoe where it's still good to go in the fall/winter time as well. Probably get away with it in the springtime, right? Okay. And I said yellow, even though I don't really wear it often, it's still a color that always stands out to me, that always grabs my attention. So this was my Tuesday shoe, was an Air Jordan 1 Taxis. Makes me think of the Air Jordan 12 Taxi. Maybe that's why a lot of us really kind of fell for it. Yes, they look completely different and it's a different silhouette. However, maybe the name is probably what got me there. Anyway, this was my Tuesday shoe. Cool, now we're gonna move right on to Wednesday. The kid right back into work. Y'all know I work a full-time job. Right back to work, stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 1, and these are the Spider-Mans, the 1.0 joints. I know they did a 2.0, but these are the 1.0s. I do got the blue laces, which I should probably swap them out and just put some of the laces that came with it, but this is a shoe right here. It does feature 3M of the like Spidey dots on this joint. No glow in the dark like the 2.0 or like 3M or whatever you want to call that on the bottom of the 2.0s. However, I still feel like it's a dope shoe, and to be honest, it just screams like a pretty much modified Air Jordan 1 Chicago, which I think we have been like fiending for that, hence why we're probably going crazy for the lows that's supposed to drop this year. But I still feel like this is a timeless classic shoe. I slept on it at the time, and I did have to go on a resale market. Production date on these is pretty much 2018, but they came home, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I don't regret it at all. It's definitely one of these shoes where I'm not a very fan of how they did the Nike swoosh, saying that for the people in the back because they hate when I say Nike check, but I feel like it still hits overall. So this was my Wednesday shoe, was the Air Jordan 1 Spider-Man. Cool. Let's move right on to Thursday, right back into work. Again, this shoe right here, I feel like it's, if you put in the footwork, you probably find it probably below retail or right at it. I don't even think these probably even went up if I had to guess, right? And I'm talking about none other than the Air Jordan 1 UNCs, right? Okay. Overall, while red is one of my favorite colors, if done right, I'll be there. I think that mass majority of the black and white and then that hint of like UNC just kind of brings me there, right? Okay, a shoe I probably could have did without. Running back, I probably wouldn't have copped these, but I don't regret buying these at all. Now the production date, I'm looking at these right here, 2023. So pretty much is probably when these dropped. Yeah, pretty much from looking at it is November 2022 to pretty much January 2023. So these probably dropped in 2023. Overall though, I feel like this is a dope shoe. Obviously, we know why we got the UNC theme right here. I like to call it baby blue, but I feel like why not? Not a very, very versatile shoe, but I feel like it still hits for like that wintertime/fall time. And to be honest, man, it's a shoe I don't really wear enough, and I really need to bring out the collection. Let's see, looking on this joint, you can tell I've worn them, but yeah, not a lot. But anyway, this was my Thursday shoe, was an Air Jordan 1 UNC. Cool, now we're gonna pretty much wrap it up. We're gonna go right to Friday, and yeah, I wanted to finish strong, but I didn't want to go super hype, but I feel like we did this one, and this is the Air Jordan 1 my year. Now, I remember like when this joint came out, I want to say it was in 2021, it was following that hype of the Air Jordan 3 my year in 2020. I feel like this one, not necessarily bad, but not great compared to, I can't help but not compare these to the 3, even though it's a different silhouette. I do like that the wings actually open up here and deliver a message, but I feel like my year, while this shoe is dope, it's still a few more details they could have brought to it. Maybe they did a little too simple and plain to it, to the best of my knowledge, but at the same time, that's kind of my year's like theme, right? So I'm not gonna knock them or hate them for that, but at the same time, could have been done a little bit better looking back on it. Now, I do remember paying resale for these, but I didn't get cracked over the head for them, and I don't regret it. Now, that quilted inside here, super duper comfortable too. If you guys have a pair or you have shoes that have this in there, I think my year is kind of notorious for throwing this in some of their shoes, and I definitely can tell the difference whenever I wear the joint. Definitely way more comfortable, so I'm gonna give them kudos for that. So this was my Friday shoe, was an Air Jordan 1 my year. Cool. So pretty much, man, that completes my weekly sneaker rotation for this week. Y'all sign off in the comment section and let me know what you wore throughout the week as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of this thing and stop rambling, man. Y'all be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you know, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Again, my name is Jeremy Jones, and thank you for watching, and I'm out.
I figure out we go.